Who's Print Studio originally started off with just me doing it. I was pregnant with our middle daughter, and we lost a baby during the pregnancy. So we just needed something for extra income. Emotionally, we were just like, we're terrified because we knew that we had this calling and this purpose, and we knew that we had this business that God wanted us to bring together to do so many different things, but we were scared.
The number one thing was we were fearful because we thought we had failed because we put everything into an idea of a t-shirt company that in retrospect we became homeless because of. So we failed, and we were scared because we didn't want to go down that same road again. It's okay to ask for help because you don't know it all. It's okay to ask for direction, and that's what we needed at that particular time.
And it actually just came from another position that I was working in for a nonprofit, a local nonprofit. So even when I left there, we continued to kind of be real positive on it. And so they ended up hiring us back as our company versus just me working there for, I think I was making $10 an hour. And so, now I'm still doing the same thing that I was doing before, but making what I'm worth.
And now we get multiple checks every month.
Yes, good old direct deposit.
Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. If you can invest in you making a positive impact, or if you can't see yourself investing in people that are actually knowledgeable about what's going on, then how do you want people to invest into you?
And so he already gives us the tools. And sometimes we feel like tools is like knowledge in our head. No, sometimes tools are the people that we connect to. And so you have to just kind of step out on that faith and do it afraid. Yeah. And if you didn't need it, then you wouldn't be searching for it. Exactly. If you didn't need it, you wouldn't be on the fence about it. You would just know, I don't need that, and you will move on. So that's how you know deep down inside when you really need something and you're just not doing it out of fear or doubt because you don't know what's to come out of it. And sometimes people are afraid of success because they when I get up there, what am I supposed to do? Or we get so comfortable in our failures.
You have to be able to be open to receive that counsel, receive instruction, receive direction, so you can reach the next step. So I would say, look, don't be prideful. Ask for help. Go ahead and pay that money, despite that bullet. And, let's go through this process. Trust me, you'll feel better at the end.
Happy Friday. Welcome back. You guys have been hanging out with us. We've been hanging out with you for, this will make 5 days now, actually 6. And we're excited to be here with you guys. This is indeed date number 5 of the Love and Launch Challenge.
Y'all are hanging tough.
You are hanging tough.
Because this challenge is a stretch, and if you're not accustomed to having these, we call them office hours in this way, really intense focus to get laser clarity, then it's definitely stretching you, which is a good thing. Stretch is a good thing because if you stay the same, then you get the same results. So you want different results, which is why you're showing up, which is why you're here, and which is why you're taking it seriously. So kudos to you.
Yes. I am O.L. Buckley.
And I'm Sway Buckley.
That's right. We are Marriedpreneur Strategists.
Now, you probably know this. We've been with us all week long, right? But just if some of you are hopping in here today for the first time ever, make sure you go back, catch the replays from earlier in the week, because it's all gold and everything builds upon the next. So real quick, let's go ahead and jump into this. A few things for housekeeping. Want to make sure that you all are aware that today is, of course, today is Friday, and we promised you 5 days, which is what we're doing. Just bring in value. We want to hear from you now. We want to hear when we drop in the posts inside the groups. We want to hear how you all are growing. We want to hear your takeaways. We want to hear these things. This is our very last time doing this challenge. I don't know if we're going to ever do it again, even next year, because we haven't had our full annual legacy meeting just yet to go over all that, but we know it's the last time for right now. So we want to make sure that you all are taking full advantage of this. This is literally a full-on class that we're doing, and especially for those of you who are here live, we're able to actually interact and do like real-time coaching with you. Like, I don't even know where else you're going to get that, like where, I don't know. Especially when it's specifically and uniquely for married entrepreneurs. That is, we are honored. We are honored to be here with you all this week. We do have some good news as well for you. We know that there are those who are coming live, and then we know also that there are those who watch the replays primarily because of the huge time difference. And even with that, though, there are some who are still like showing up, and it's really late where you all are. So we say kudos to you, but we know that's not everybody's capability or capacity to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And so we also know that it's important to go back how the brain works, to watch, rewatch, to listen again, and make sure that you get all the juice, because these videos will be going away. The replays will be going away. So what we want to do for you all, because we know during the week it's really a packed week, not just with what we're doing here, but just with life as well. We want to give you a few more days to watch the replays. So would that be okay for you? Huh? Yes. I think we should have a clap track. Woo! Clap track right there. We're going to do that as another bonus gift for you all, to be able to have a little more time to go back through the videos, the replays, watch them, get all the juice, okay? And then they'll be coming down. We'll close it on Monday. So you have the weekend to watch it. And then Monday at 8 p.m. they're over. Also, yesterday, we opened the doors for applications for our last L.A.U.N.C.H training cohort. So if you all know that you need help and you signed up, you registered because you did, and you already know you need help. But if you would like further help, and when you see, especially as what we've already done, and you see like this is what's required, and you need that level of accountability and really getting customized systems for where you are to see results literally in 30 days or less within your business, then you definitely want to go ahead and apply to be a part of a Love and Launch cohort while it is still available. So right now, after this time, the Love and Launch challenge goes away, and the cohorts, they're on their way out as well too. So we'll see what the future holds. But right now, we're closing down everything. We're pivoting. And so if you know that this is the time that God has been speaking to you all, you need some help and some direction to really be the best steward you can over the gifts that He's placed in your hands concerning your legacy and your business, then go ahead, take that next step. Really, it's in the action of faith and action. Faith and action go together. They're not separate. And so they go together, faith coupled with action, just to go ahead and apply. And then what's going to happen after you apply to be in a cohort, we will set up a call, a Zoom call, just a 15-minute Zoom call to meet with you. We really take this serious because your results, your legacy is serious to you, and it's serious to us. And we take it serious because we know this is what God has called us to do in this season, and we want to steward all of this well. So, which is another reason why we keep the cohorts really small. Usually we'll do a cohort in about 5 couples at a time. So everyone, that's how we're able to guarantee success for everyone within the 30 days or less, just to keep it that small. And then we'll have, different cohorts, multiple cohorts, but it's a very tight knit group. So you go right in, and we dive right to get into your systems and your strategies so you can see those results. So It's amazing. So you can head over to marriedpreneursecrets.com.
Yes.
Let me see. I can put this in here. You can
And put it in
apply
the comments.
there. Yeah, marriedpreneursecrets.com. You can apply there, but you can also see all of the things that we have that's waiting for you inside of it. And you can also see the people who have already gotten results. Those are just a handful of the people, but they're amazing stories, and we're going to do our best to even share more stories. As we did earlier a few moments ago, we shared a story of the Harris Group testimonial, and they were really in fear because they felt, as you heard, like failures from a previous attempt to start a business without a roadmap, without mentors, right? And so when they went ahead and invested, they were really able to jumpstart their career and turn their employer into their client. Is that not amazing? And so we were able to walk them through those steps, because there are just some things you just don't know. You just don't know how to do. And so everybody's story is different, but everyone's story is amazing, uniquely amazing. And so we are excited to help other legacy builders build their legacy and their businesses and really see crazy good results within those 30 days. So I'm going to go ahead and post this here. You can apply at marriedpreneursecrets.com. But I say also, as you're applying, go ahead and watch those stories. Be encouraged because, there is such thing as like mindsets are contagious. When you're around certain people, when you're in the right community, it's contagious. And so you want to be strategic and intentional about that. And also you can borrow other people's courage, because sometimes you may feel like, I don't know. But then when you see other people's stories where they started and how you can relate, and you build from there too. So anyway, we want to use that to encourage you all. marriedpreneursecrets.com. Now today, and I put that in the comments too. Today, as we go forward, as we promised, we're going to be giving you all the what we call it the Love and Launch map, but it's really like the launch map. With that too, I didn't mention this for our bonus that we've offered you all, that we're giving you all the bonus for the replays to be up for a few more days over the weekend until Monday, 8 p.m. EST. In addition to that bonus, we're also going to come on. We'll send an email to you, but we're going to come on 2 more times to give you bonus sessions, also to do some more Q&A, laser clear coaching right here on the spot, but also go for some ways to be thinking and tweaking your mindset as you're going through this. So we'll be showing you some other strategies. These are all bonus on top of everything that we say we were going to give. It's more coming too. So we don't want to just say the bonus days only and you have an extended replay access to replays. We're also going to be doing additional training for and with you all on Sunday. And we'll check your emails for the correct time. And then on Monday, we'll come in as well at 6 p.m. EST, because we will share a few strategies there. And then on Sunday, as I mentioned, we'll do that as well too. Probably going to be around the same time, but we'll confirm via email. We're just working out all the details. We have some really, really good things in store for you all. And this is just the beginning. This is like the beginning of a new shift, right? Of a new season as you get this understanding and start walking in it. So with that being said, today we're going over the launch map, and in your download today, you'll have it'll be an outline of this launch map. And what we want you to walk away with today is just some amazing clarity of how to put all the steps together. As you all have taken everything that we went over this week thus far, and then put everything together. So we promise you all, you'll have a clear, customized launch map, strategic to you, and you'll know exactly what you need to be doing based on what we're going over today. So here's what you're going to learn today.
Yes, in the launch map, you're going to learn how to use your wealth roles to experience maximum productivity, even if only one of you is operating the business.
Yes.
You're also going to learn a simple sequence to delivering high value to your market every time. And then lastly, you're going to learn how to complete your custom launch for profitable business building, together. So
yes, that's just for starters. So let's dive into this, shall we? So we're gonna start with, we're gonna do a lot of screen sharing so you can just visualize what we're saying. It literally is a process. And before we go into this, I want to say this: the reason why we're doing the visualization and showing you this is because many times marriedpreneurs, they'll start building a business because they have an idea, they have an expertise at something, and they can get people results in a certain area, but they don't have an expertise in the business model or the business systems that they should be using. So what happens is they use parts of a system, what they know, but there are parts that you don't know. So what you end up doing is using broken systems. You end up using systems with holes in them. And then you wonder why, like, I'm doing this work. I know how to help people. I know how to get them results, but why are we not growing? Or why is it taking this amount? Or isn't there a better way or more effective and efficient way, not just to build a business, but also to make sure that you all are building your marriage as well too? There's got to be a better way. Well, there is a better way. And so this whole launch, the whole reason why we're walking it out for you in a visual manner is so you can see step by step and on a high view from what we've gone over, and then we'll dive in a little bit more, but we're going to show you where each step goes, and so you can then plug in how you're going to respond in your business model based on this launch map. Okay, so this is why we're doing a lot of the sharing today. Just the visual effect, I think, will be super helpful for everyone. So talking about launch, the very first thing that you want to be doing is listening.
Yes, you want to be listening. It was a few years ago, several years ago, I was speaking at an event in Manhattan, and I was talking about financial investing. And there was a person there, one in particular, let me say, who was deeply interested in working with me. So this person literally went from a lead to a prospect. Well, we made an arrangement to have a meeting over the phone. We get on the phone and I'm listening to what he's saying. And let me say, I'm really not listening. I'm just quiet while he's talking. That's a difference, right? So I'm preloading, front loading while he's talking, everything that I'm going to say to him. And all I'm going to do is just say, here's my service. Here's what you need. And what happened was we get on the phone and we're talking, we're going through this conversation, and I'm preparing to convert him. I'm preparing to make an offer to this person. And when I made this offer to him, because of what I did not say, and
based on what he said,
and I actually devalued myself and my services, my ability. And so when I mentioned to him even the investment level, it was a misfire. And he did not have confidence that I could provide him with the help and the solution that he needed. And so basically I got a no thank you and then hung up the phone. And I share that story with you because that was a very hard lesson to learn. It was hard for a few reasons, but it was a hard lesson nonetheless to learn. And the L in this launch map sequence is really, it's first for a reason, because listening is such a critical part. Obviously, it's a viable and important part in marriage communication, even the more as you all are building together, that you're listening to one another. So there's the listening between the two of you, and then there's also the listening to your market. And so the L in this part of the process literally is listening to your market as they share their biggest problems. And this is what they are willing to pay for. And let me say this about the listening. Because you may be thinking, well, what am I listening for? Am I just listening? Well, you're listening to hear how do they speak about, how do they describe their problem, their view of the problem even, and what language are they using? Because as you're listening, you're now taking that as data. That's valuable information for you, valuable feedback for you, because as you are going to begin to deliver your messaging, and let me say this differently, communicate value. As you're going to start communicating value, it has to be value that they perceive, not just value that we know about our businesses, but it has to be value that the market perceives. And that can only happen as we listen to the words and the terms that they use, because that's going to inform and shape our messaging. If you remember on Wednesday, when we talked about the launch lingo and about the messaging and about using resultology. So listening is a key part of framing your messaging, because that's going to convey value that your market's going to get, and then be like, yeah, okay.
So with
you
that,
get me.
Yeah. So with that being said, go ahead in the comments and write out. We're going to do an exercise for each of these. So you want to be quick with thinking through this and applying it quickly. So go ahead and write out in the comments there, what are you listening to when you hear your people say what their problems are? What are they saying their biggest problem is concerning the area that you have a solution for, whether it's, a service or product or a combination? What do your people say? So if you've already been listening, then you already know what that is. Okay. So let us know in the comments. And then as you're doing that, and this is important to be really thinking quickly about it, because it's likely if you're already in business, or even if you have an idea, if you're in the ideation stage of it, it's likely that you're thinking or leaning to a certain way based on what the market has been saying. And even if you haven't been thinking about what the market has been saying, now is the best time to be thinking about what is the market saying when they ask you for certain things, or when they are inquiring about how to do something based on your expertise. What is it that they're saying? So be mindful of that. Let me pull this up 1 second. And go ahead and put that in the box. I'm pulling this up, and all of our sheets just went away. So 1 second.
Your market is going to tell you
what the
how
problem
to
is.
talk to them. We just have to realize and pay attention to what it is that they're saying, and let that shape and inform how we talk back to them.
Absolutely. So we have
communication issues leading to conflict and disconnection.
So that's exactly, like, that's what they're saying.
You're saying that's what they're saying. Okay. So you want to look at any adjectives or verbs or descriptors that they're using. So they're using the word, based on what you said there, they're using the word communication, they're using the word conflict.
Right.
Those are very, very telling terms.
Absolutely.
That you can use to incorporate. So
that ties right into
the next one, which is A, and this A is for answer. So you're going to be answering their problem with your resultology messaging. And remember, your resultology is going to be able to speak, not at a surface level, not at a technobabble level, but directly to the concerns that they have expressed, so that they can understand that you are delivering value. A quick example of one that, go ahead.
In 1 second, before he goes into that example, go ahead and write, because we can be moving forward, and we'll go into the example, but go ahead and write out how you would respond based on even that example right there, and everyone else who's watching, even watching the replays. Go ahead and write out what your answer or response would be to what they've been saying based on your listening to them. Okay.
Yeah. So
and let us know in the comments. Go ahead. Sorry.
So a great example of that. Not sure if you're familiar, but it's been around for decades. The cough syrup called NyQuil. And I think they have some of the best marketing possible, best messaging possible, which is marketing. But notice what they say. And I'm not trying to get it exact here, but these are basically the words that they use. They call themselves the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, achy, stuffy head fever, coughing, something, so you can rest medicine. And notice they just basically, in their messaging, ran down the list of symptoms of what everybody who has a cold is feeling. So, and if you've ever had a cold, and you know something about colds just flares up at night. They get worse at nighttime. That's why they say the nighttime, because they're just telling you, listen, we're not trying to cure it. We're trying to get you rest so you can go to work, not groggy, having been up all night. So they're trying to get you a sweet and peaceful sleep, basically to knock you out so you can just sleep through the night, right? But they listed the stuffy head, the aching fever, the this and the that, the coughing and so forth, so you can rest, because that's what people who have colds at night want to do. They want to rest. So the language shapes the messaging, and better believe NyQuil listened to the market's language and said that's going to frame our messaging, our resultology.
Yes, yes, and yes. And let's go to the next one. And oh, okay. Hey, Odette and Mark. She said that's how Odette and Mark here. Good to see y'all. Yes, y'all are for real about this. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's go to this. Okay, so basically, this is the use part, and this is using your proprietary process, which is your resultology broken down into your. Remember, we talked about your customer journey on similar to that of the value ladder, but actually having steps. We didn't have enough time. Remember, I told you this is kindergarten, so we didn't have enough time to go through how that framework works. But if you're looking at your resultology and you say we're going to take you from A to Z, then what does that process look like? So when you're answering their problem with the resultology with A, you're going to go ahead and use your proprietary process or the customer journey, depending on what your business model is like, to connect with them and show them how to get results. So all that ties into the messaging and the marketing together. So it's breaking it down step by step on like the most basic level. And yes, okay, she says we would summarize what they have shared and check if we have heard them correctly.
That's great. Yeah, to verify that you've heard them correctly is important. And that's, by the way, another way of conveying value that they're going to be able to perceive your sincere desire to help.
Yes. And so with that being said, because you all are experts at what you do, but you're now learning like how to really do it and in a way that has high level systems, business systems for your clients and the people that you serve, and then increasing that. And so when it comes to the use part, even if we didn't get a chance to go through exactly how to build out your proprietary process, then I would ask you, based on what they're saying, as far, let's just use this example. They're saying communications issues leading to conflict and disconnection in marriage, I would assume, based on, or their relationship if they're engaged or married couples, right? And so then you would want to be able to show them, usually in about like 3 to 5 steps. This is our process and how we take you through this. So of course we didn't go through all that. We don't have time to go through all that, like, or have you write it out right now. But what you can do is speak of, maybe there's a module or an exercise for this, the purposes of where we are right now, a module or an exercise that speaks specifically to their or solving their communication issues and eradicating, not necessarily never having conflict again, but the disconnection, understanding how to have conflict without the disconnection. So in your messaging, you would want to make sure for the use part, and you all can correct us if we are misunderstanding it, but you will want to have it specifically based on what your people are saying around a whole system around amazing communication that allows you to have healthy conflict and stay connected, or even grow even closer with conflict, because you know how to, you have the skills and you're equipped, you have the tools to work through that and to do it in a way that actually brings you closer and not tears you apart. Would that be accurate? I'm just going to go with that same example since we started, with y'all. We can just go across that same line. Let us know in the comments if that is accurate based on who your people are, what you're hearing when you're listening to them, and based on the questions that you ask them to confirm that in resultology, and then using your proprietary process, keeping it 1, 2, 3, super simple. Let us know in the comments for that. Okay, we want to hear it. Okay, so that sounds good. Yes, and so we're breaking it down like this because many times it's easy to like dilute your messaging because like we know what it is that we do. You all know what it is that you do. And the thing is, your people, your market they're coming to you as the expert that you are, but you also have to be savvy in how to explain it so they understand, oh, this is the process. And especially if we're talking about offering premium products and services, right? We want to be the best, offer the best at what it is that we do. Like, why do anything less? And if that's going to be the case, that's going to be reflected not just in our price point, but it's also going to be reflected in our messaging. It's going to be reflected. So we're so clear, and they're very clear. They're like, yo, this is for me. This, like, you're the one, because you're able to articulate, you're hearing what they said, and then you're able to articulate and then use your own process to say, this is the way to do it. This is what we would, this is our path on how we would get you from point A to point B, and then break that down again for the B to C. So good stuff. Would you have anything for that?
No, I think that's good. That was thorough.
Yes. And let us know in the comments if you have any questions, because we're really just doing a overview of how to build out your process. And then on the bonus day, we're going to do some more. We're going to add on this too. Not add it, make it longer, but go deeper with it. So you'll even be able to take the next steps with it as well too, getting more clarity on where you all are right now. This is going to also help you see where you need help, the most help. Okay. Which letter are we on? Is it C right here?
No. N. I thought that was N though.
L.A.U.N. Yep.
All right. So the next step in this launch map is nurture. N for nurture. Now, it's interesting because if you look at this launch map, it looks like it would appear as though the nurturing process now starts.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's true, but not true. So yeah, in one sense, the nurture process does start. But let me zoom out and go big for a second. The nurture process actually has already started, because you have began to nurture by listening, all right? And then by responding or answering, and then by showing how you're going to help them solve that problem. Mm-hmm. So when we say nurture now here, although you've been nurturing all along, we're talking about your market, nurturing them with visibility events that really help to accomplish this. Help you achieve and establish the KLT factor, KLNT factor. And the KLNT factor is know, like, and trust. And so as you're nurturing with this visibility, with these visibility events, if you will, they're looking now and they're now being nurtured because there's already a connection that's happening. So what this nurture, this intentional, proactive nurturing step is doing, it is helping to cement your know, like, and trust factor. Mm-hmm. Because listening is a part of know, liking, and trusting. Answering with resultology is a part of know, liking, and trusting. And then showing how you can help bring those results is a part of know, like, and trust. And then this nurture process, by coming face to face with your value, and in a way that says, this is how we're going to help you, and this is what you need. So this opportunity of being face to face with your clients, and I say face to face in a very generic sense, but this opportunity is just cementing the knowing, the liking, and the trusting. And you'll see why the know, like, and trust factor is critical in this process.
Yes. Just a moment. And so we're going to get ready now to hear from you, to hear how are you, or are you nurturing your people, your market? And this is before they become clients. You're nurturing them, of course, as they, when they become clients and you're delivering your services and your goods and your services. But before they become clients, there has to be a strategic nurturing process that goes on. And the nurturing that happens is it all goes back to the beginning step, which is the L. What are they telling you, right? And then it's like, okay, based on what they're telling you, this determines how you are going to nurture them, or what are some creative ways that you can speak directly to their problem. And not necessarily, you're not going all in and giving them all of, your services, but what are some ways that you can offer insights for them? And so I'll give you some examples. When we talked about that, the value ladder the other day, I guess that was yesterday. It was like the other day. When we talked about that yesterday, and we shared with you, it starts from the beginning, and then it goes to the middle, to the signature, and then it goes to the high ticket offer. Low, middle, high. But the low one, usually people who are just getting to know you in that way, they will have you will have something at the beginning of the relationship to give them insight into how they can be helped, and not just talking about yourself. You're actually giving them real value. So this, for example, this challenge that we're doing right now, guess what that is? Guess what this is? Can you guess where this is? We listened. We have lots of conversations before this. We have a whole proprietary process that we've been walking you all through, and we even show you different processes. Even yesterday, we went to 3 different profit strategies or systems, and today we're going through a whole nother proprietary process and system. Each day we're walking you through things so you can see how the value works for you, and so you can see how you build upon it. So all this is right here in real time is, we would put this under nurturing. Like everything you do in business, it needs to be in one of these boxes here. So you can actually see, okay, this is where you are. What purpose and point does this play right now? And then what is the next opportunity from here? Like, what do you do? But if you're missing out on this nurture and you don't have anything to offer your people, it doesn't have to be a free 5-day challenge. That's just what we are. That's what we're doing. But there's so many different things. If you have nothing right now, maybe you do a call with someone to see where they are, more of a discovery, and then hear and say, okay, this is what I would recommend for you. Or what if it's a digital product where it's automated, when people have questions and they need help and they're searching the internet at night. And let's just use this example. Oh my goodness, my spouse and I, or my fiance and I, just communication is not what it needs to be. We need help. And they're searching and they find you online, but then what can they get from you? What can they download from you right away while you're busy doing life or sleeping? What systems could you already have in place?
Right.
It could be a checklist to show them, okay, these are the top 5 conversations that you want to talk about, or how you want to have them, maybe a type of a script or words to use. Here are some words you absolutely want to stay away from in healthy communication. Like, those are the things that you want to be thinking about when we talk about this. Now, okay, good. So we have, you said you have facilitated 1 challenge, shared interviews with other couples who have access your support via Facebook Live on a private Facebook group that you host. Good. We post on Instagram, but not consistently. We began an email sequence of 6 emails, but then no more have been sent. Got it. So continuing to offer that. So that's great. So when you have this nurture sequence in place, then it automatically should give them, let me ask you this too. I'm not going to assume, but I'm just going to ask you, when you all do this, the different ways that you're nurturing, what happens after that? Do they become clients, or how does that work? Let us know. So we also had a stall at a
business expo giving free resources away.
Okay, awesome. So resources for those married and engaged couples. Perfect. Now we got to tighten that system up. So, because there's somewhere it's breaking down, but that's great. That's great, because you all are on the right path with that. So we just got to find out what's the next step. So let's go over the next step to see where you all are, especially if you're wanting to have more clients in the way of your business. So let's bring this other one up. Let's stop this screen and then go to the next one. We all know this is this right here?
Yes.
Okay. The letters are so. Oh.
Did you get the right one? It was the one.
Yeah, I did it right.
Okay. So this next step, right, now is convert.
Mm-hmm.
This next step is convert. And you're converting prospects into clients. So when we say prospect into clients, you're doing this through your strategic event and offer that you've provided them, or that you've presented to them. Now, let me say this. because sometimes we can inadvertently do this or not realize we're doing this. Because this is what I did wrong, going back to the first letter L, which was at listen. If we're not really listening accurately and answering with resultology and clearly showing how we're going to bring about the solution, and then nurturing them and making sure that that know, like, and trust factor is there. By the time we get to the C, the convert, if we haven't done those things or skipped one of those steps or haven't done one of those steps effectively, then we could end up trying to convert a lead. And the difference between a lead and a prospect is nurture. See, a lead is just, I don't know who you are. This is the beginning. This is the genesis of my awareness, if you will. But a prospect is someone who you've been engaging with, you've been listening, you've been answering, you've been showing how you can deliver value and bring about a solution, and you've been nurturing. So by the time we get to C, you can convert a prospect. But if we've missed a step, then we would have been trying to convert a lead,
which is cold.
And so that's really important that we really think about it that way, which is why we're emphasizing each part of this process at a very high level. But we're showing you at a very high level what this looks like from a bird's eye view, if you will.
Yeah, and I think that's so important too. What you all just said here, you said we have had a few clients, but 95% of them from our warm market. And that's right on point too. So that means then, if we're understanding you correctly, that when you nurture your cold market, they then become warm. Is that what you're saying when you do that? And then from the warm, that's when you convert. Is that, like, let us know, is that what you're saying? Because I believe when we started, if I remember correctly, you were saying you want to do more revenue generating activities, but I'm not sure if that is concerning increasing your warm market, or is that actually doing the steps to do more listing? I'm not sure what that's kind of a different question, but let us know if that makes sense. So you're saying you're doing these different areas with your challenges, your interviews, and or sharing those and these resources, but then those people, and even the emails too, then those people are going to become warm. They become your warm market. And then once they're your warm market, those are the ones who are likely going to need what you have to offer. And then they also know, like, and trust you. So they're problem aware, because they either come to you problem aware, or you've made them problem aware to say, this is a problem. If you're talking like this, and this, and you're using these words, that's a problem in communication. So you may be educating them, or they may already be educated in that. And then so they're not only problem aware, but then they're also solution aware, because then your product, your service is the solution. And that's a win-win-win. Okay, let me see right here. She says, not really. Our warm marketing friends are nurtured, then have become clients and referred others. Got it. So then it sounds like your breakdown probably is, okay, let me see. The 5% are referred to us by our warm. Got it. So you're really dealing with friends right now, like friends and family or close ones.
Yeah. So what happens is, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? That's a great starting point. But it's like the difference between, and I'm going to just use a fishing analogy. It's like the difference between fishing in a puddle versus fishing in a river, right? And so you just need to expand your market. You need to expand that water, because there's only but so many in one, puddle, if you will. Not that there are fish in the puddle, but you get my point. So there's but the point being is there's only so many fish. You're struggling to reach out to the cold market. Yeah. So again, zooming out and stepping back, this launch map is really everything we've been talking about this week. Is how Is how so what happens is that puddle gets so saturated that it's like there's no other fish there now.
But there are tons of fish. And this is why if you go back, this is why we're giving you all the bonus days. I'm not sure if you all saw it at the beginning, the bonus days to go back and watch the replays again. Because if you go back to yesterday, especially the profit systems, for the understanding. We didn't see. We're doing high level view. This is why we offer the cohorts. We can actually walk you through this, because a week, you can see, is just really not a lot of time, but it's enough time for you to see, okay, this is what we need to focus on. So if you look at yesterday, when we talked about the profitability system, I believe it was the second one, and that was dealing first with the ladder. That ladder, you want to break that down to say, like, look at that beginning part. That's the nurturing piece. So you have to put your nurture, all the things that you already have that you're nurturing, that's going to be your nurturing. And then whatever your signature offer is, you can write that in there. And whatever your high ticket and, higher, high touch, high ticket offer after that, you can have that there too. Now, so just at least get that clear. But then you want to go back to resultology, like work your way backwards to Wednesday. And then go over how what your messaging is saying. Because do you know there are countless couples, and especially if you're doing a lot of it, I mean, right now you can do a lot of it right here, like, online. There are so many. That's a huge market of couples, engaged couples, and married couples. I would say break it down to one or the other, because that's just so many. That's so big anyway. So I would say pick one to be your sweet spot, because then you can really talk to them. So if you're going to talk to the engaged couples, you're going to tell them why they need to know this before they get married. But see, your messaging is going to be different if you're talking to married people, because you're not going to say before you get married. So what happens is, because you're trying to talk to two markets, is you're diluting your messaging, and you're saying if you're engaged or if you're married and you have issues in communication. Well, that's very watered down. You're not getting specific enough, and you can't get specific enough because you're trying to talk to two different types of people with two different problems. May have the same communication problem, but it's two different messagings with the same problem. And then, so for example, if you're saying to married people, they have communication issues and they're growing apart. Yeah, she says, so true. So true. Yeah. If they're growing apart as a married couple, that's different between than somebody who's not married yet, they haven't made the vow yet, and they're growing apart. Then you want to learn, like, okay, is this a skill that you all need to work on, or is it another reason that you're really growing apart? Like, is this supposed to be right now, or is it supposed to be like you have that option, you have that out like that, because if you're growing apart. So it's going to be different issues if they're engaged in the sense of the language, right? Engaged versus married. So if you pick the married, I would say pick one, start there. The more specific you can get with it, the better. And there's a saying in marketing says that the riches are in the niches. So the profitability is really based in how specific you're getting in your messaging. Okay, so I would say pick one and then go deep. So go back to Wednesday, look at the results, just replay that whole thing. This is why we're giving you all a few more days to go through it. Watch that replay, go through the list again, pick one, and then decide on, out of that couple that you're going to work with, what is their real problem, right? Like, it's one thing to say communication, but that's huge. And then what are they really saying? Because then the reason why you're having issues with connecting, and you don't even have to have a big following to resonate, just even with the few, the clearer you are in that, you're going to be able to connect with them. So you're going to be able to call them out to say, hey, if you're engaged, are you dealing with, these? Or you may say, hey, if you're just going to focus on the married folks, how are you married? And is your spouse dealing with such and such and such, and you all are not communicating? Do you find yourself arguing more? Do you where there's a reason for this? Right? Here's a tip that you can do, because then you're really talking about them honoring their marriage, which is different from a couple who isn't married, and then working through that, and then understanding what some simple systems are that you have in place and how you could help them further along to enrich their marriage and to not necessarily avoid conflict, but to have healthy conflict, right? So it's a totally different message than what you just started out with. So I just wanted to kind of break that down for a few minutes, and we had it. But let's go on to the next one. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Let's go on now to okay, so we went to convert. So let's go to the last one. And this last one is...
Yeah. So we're going to round out this launch map, sequence. All right. So
here it goes.
Now, what you want to do is help, right? You want to actually help them get the results with your signature program and service or offer. Okay. Now, This is really, you could actually say help as deliver, right? This is actually you now actively delivering this service to them so they can actually achieve the results. When you are helping them, because you would have converted them, they're now experiencing your value. They're experiencing your value. And this now experience value, because everything up to this point is about the value you've communicated and the value that they have perceived. But value that you've communicated and value that they perceive, when done well, becomes value that they experience. Yes. And I will go so far now and say this: value that they experience is value that they talk about, right? Yeah. So that's really in the ultimate sense, right? And you've already started, one of you is, you've already started seeing that happen to some degree, okay? But the point is, you want to actually help them now to get the result. This is where you're delivering on what you promised that was communicated in your resultology.
Yes. And so this right here is a high view. It's a high view over the steps that you want to be looking at and taking. And once you do this, just like we're talking today, for those of you who are watching the replay, we hope that you can get this similar understanding. I know it's different if you're not here live, so we can talk it through with you, but at least you can understand, okay, if we just kept, stick with this one example, like where the breakdown is, because you've registered here to be here at with this for this week for a reason. Whether you were able to do all the days or not, you actually registered because you need help, right? You need solutions. You need to get better. There's something that you're hoping for, you're expectant in. And this right here, system, once you've gone through the week, you can see, okay, are we doing everything? Like these steps right here, these 6 steps, are we doing this? And then where is the breakdown? Because you may say, okay, just like, this couple said, okay, yeah, we're doing L, we're doing A, we're doing U, we're doing N, but then when it gets to that conversion part, it's like, and that's when the systems start to break down. But I would even say that there's some holes in the system even earlier in, before you get to conversion, because it's likely going to start with the messaging, which is what we just realized too. In this one example that we're sharing with you all today, it's go back to the messaging, because the messaging is what's going to connect people and draw them and like make them remember the picture of the crowd that we showed you all when we said, okay, earlier we gave an example of, someone being an optometrist or a stylist, and they style eyeglassware for millennial women, like stylish, colorful looks for millennial women. Well, that was very specific for the people who were there, versus somebody who just saying, oh, I just do styles. And like, well, is it clothing styles, or do you hairstyles? Like, do you style shoes? Like, what do you style? And so that's going to be very specific for everybody. You all watching now, you all watching the replay, just get very, very specific. And even when you think that you've gotten it all the way down as close as you can go deeper, right? You can go even closer and more specific. So that's going to be powerful for everybody. So as you go through this, you're going to see where you need help. And we would love for you to, yes, come back, and we'll put the Facebook, the post up in a few moments, so you can let us know what your takeaways were from this. And this whole process, yes, it's heavy on marketing today, especially, but just because it's heavy on marketing, that doesn't mean we negate the fact that you're married. So as you see at the bottom of the page here, it says wealth roles, because every day we're talking through these wealth roles, okay? And so each one of these stages, from the L.A.U.N.C.H, it requires you all as couples to be sounding boards for each other and being each other's cheerleader as you're walking through and say, okay, how can we make this better? How can we do this? Like, use each other better, use each other in that way to really improve your level of delivery ultimately. Now, it's going to look different on how you work this out, because Some of you may be indiepreneurs, some are spousalpreneurs, some are couplepreneurs. But even within those areas, there's like all these other variables as well too that impact your capacity, that impact your ability to focus on certain things, your time, your energy. And so it's just going to look different across the board for every couple. But we will say use this as a foundation. Make sure that you're really going through it together. Even if one spouse is really supporting and not necessarily in the business, you don't have to be couplepreneurs to be building the same legacy. You're going to be building the same legacy because you're married. Like, that's just what it is. So this is a great exercise to use and to walk through with each other, so you all can get some clarity on that. Please let us know if you have any questions at all. I know we went through just an overview of this, a high level of this launch map for you all to know what's what. And so, as I mentioned, you do have the replays as a little gift from us for a few more days to go back through them. And then what we're going to do is have a bonus session with you all on Saturday. We'll be sharing some really good things. So check your email. That I'm not Saturday. I meant Sunday. Tomorrow we will not be live. This is like a live class here, but it'll be on Sunday, and that gives you time to go ahead and watch it on your own time. And that will likely be around the same time, but we'll send you an email. And then on Monday for sure around the same time at 6 p.m. EST as well too. So we'll be able to build on top of this and take you even a little deeper. Just some more of the framework. Like I said, this is all basic, just building blocks level this whole week. And that's why we have that amazing offer for you all to walk you through and to really take you all to the next levels and go deeper with you. If you think this is like amazing, just imagine how much more amazing it is to have more time so we can go through each and every aspect of it with you all. This is how we can guarantee results in 30 days or less. It doesn't take long. It does take specific focus, though. It does take clarity. And oftentimes it takes help, accountability, a map, and a mentor. So marriedpreneursecrets.com. Go check that out, apply, and we will look forward to hopping on a call with you and taking it from there just to get more insight on where you all are. And so we will look forward to seeing you all on Sunday. Check your email. We'll have all the details inside of there. That's just going to be a bonus day for you. So we're excited to share that with you. Sunday and Monday is going to be amazing, guys. Let us know. Was this helpful for you? Let us know in the comments if this is helpful for you. And we'll go ahead and put that link up for you too as well. Oh, awesome. So glad to hear. So glad to hear. Yes, yes, yes. That's our goal, to knock it out the park. Okay, so we look forward to seeing y'all on Sunday. Until then,
keep living purposefully,
powerfully,
and profitably in sync.
Okay, God bless y'all. Have a good one.